Yeah, I want to make it very. I mean, I have been pleased with the work that I've gotten from in working with the council. Yes, like I said, anytime the news is looking for us to, to argue and split us apart and say, okay, well, because you don't agree with every part of legislation put in, then you're not for it, and the council's not for it, and the county executive is for this and they're for that. Well, no, I said it when I put the legislation in. This is the starting point. I knew as a legislator, we're going to go back and forth. And so the idea is that we're going to work together. At the end of the day, though, we're going to make sure that we're together on our priorities. One, that there is transparency. I think we all want that, which I think is the most important part. That is very clear that anyone doing business here is what we expect is a quality product. We don't want anything but you to do the right thing, and I think everybody's in agreement with that. And two, we want to make sure that funding for Prince George's County, especially in Annapolis, when we're fighting, I don't want them to think that we're split on getting resources back here, because that's a lot of what the people will try to do. It's like, oh well, they're fighting, let's take the pie. No, we're not fighting. We're coming up with legislation, and we still want the pie. And so I commend the council for working with me on that, and the legislature. Now back to the people we can't beat up on.
But it is a reflection on a city when they say New Carrollton is #1 in crime at the metro station.
Yeah,
Greenbelt.
Right. Well, here's the thing. You pick up the paper, and I saw the other day where, one of the healthcare centers is losing money. Prince George's County. It leads with Prince George's County. I was like, it's a private one. It's, they have to be located in Prince George's County. Don't lead with our name. But it does bring up, Mayor, it brings up a point I think is valid, and that is, clearly we have to do a better job with WMATA in protecting and being a partner around our metro stations. The Cheverly Metro Station is the same way. New Carrollton, because you have a lot of foot traffic. You have a lot of traffic at New Carrollton, but that is WMATA helping us out at those metro stations the same way they do in the district. And it's going to take us, and we've said this to to the general manager, the new general manager of WMATA. I called him to congratulate him. I said, great, you've got the job, and here's my list of complaints. And by the way, when we do send over our alternate to the WMATA board, rule number one, I think that's the first interview question. Will you show up? Yeah. If you say yes, we check you, go on for there. Crazy. But they will show up, and they will, and I want somebody who's going to use the system. I think that's important, not just the train system, but the bus system, everything, so that when they go back in there, they have a sense of what's going on, and they're keeping up in terms of that. So we are going to work with them to say, how can we work together? Because we clearly can't police everything. This is a partnership, and you can't. Right. So we will work.
So I actually wanted to, well, first of all, thank you for lots of things, but one is hiring Mayor Ortiz of Edmonston to your staff. And I think it was great to see you at the Green Streets event, sort of celebrating sort of a new green agenda for Prince George's County. And I guess I wanted to ask if, both in terms of transit-oriented development, which I know you support in the Purple Line, if you'll support strong stormwater standards, which Greenbelt and College Park has expressed strong support for.
We will definitely support the transit-oriented development and strong laws to make sure that we put Prince George's County in the best position we can.
Great.
Did I answer that?
Jan.
Kind of, sort of.
I just had a question that I'm not sure if everyone else around the table knows or not, but I was wondering who your municipal liaison is on the staff?
We are about to, right now, it is Jason Williams is along with, who's here today? Jason, you here? Or did he leave?
He just stepped out.
He just stepped out. Who was our person? No, we are going to announce. Oh, there he is.
There he is.
It looks like he's eating. Jason Williams, my special assistant, who is stepping in right now and making sure that your issues are gotten back to us. But we will announce a liaison from the municipalities. I wanted to find someone. I mean, I think we have found the right person that not only understands the municipalities but also understands Annapolis and budgeting, so that one of the helps that we can get is around funding and around helping you help us advocate better on our behalf. And so I hope you'll be pleased with the announcement that we're making. But even after that person comes on, what I'd like to do is personally be involved. You're where the rubber hits the road. So yes, I want to have somebody who regularly attends the meeting, but I want to be able to do something like this regularly, so I hear directly myself. Just as long as you don't invite, Chevrolet, 'cause they, they have a habit of just knocking on my door and making it. But we will have someone for right now. Jason is the person, immediate person you can. Jason, yes, we will definitely have a representative there if we haven't.
I think we have a.
I also wanted to know, just real quick, it's a very quick question, piggybacking on this. Will there be a communication that goes out to municipal officials on a regular basis, something like an e-newsletter, to keep us involved in things that are going on?
That is a great question, and yes is the short answer. But let me just say something. When we had the fires this weekend, one of the things that I asked my staff to do is to, of course, notify council members in their district, but also we got into so okay, we need to notify municipal officials whose districts are affected by this and whose districts even aren't. So we're going to figure out, the best way to get the information to you directly, and not just through the liaison, but they have it directly come to you. And so the newsletter is a good idea, but also, we're going to look at, the presidents and of the associations, make sure they get the information, and then that way you're aware of what's going on around the county.
We'd appreciate something like that as a communication from the county executive's office.
We will do it. Jason, did you get that?
I have a short queue. Councilmember Nguyen, Pudens, and then actually you'll wrap us up. So that I think you'll be the last
But
one.
Andy, I have some money coming.
Oh, money coming.
Oh, if you got money, I'm for it.
Thank you again for coming tonight. And I just wanted to, first I want to respond to some a comment you made in response to Mr. Saleh's question about Route 1. Just in terms of about being ready, I think we've been ready to see Route 1 for the past 20 years at least now. So we are ready.
And you know what, Pat, you were one of my favorites on here. You know what? I was a big.
Now I'm going to ask a more cooperative question.
There you go.
We're talking about transit-oriented development and working together to build around the metro stations. We just found out in the last couple of days that the developer of the South Core of the Greenbelt Metro Station development was foreclosed on. The North Core developer, last I heard, went bankrupt, and that's not going anywhere soon. So my question is how, I think we want to work together to see something happen. And it's not just there. We have an area up in North College Park, the Hollywood Commercial District, that's been sort of neglected over the years. That we want to work with the county to implement tools, see what tools that we can put in place to spark redevelopment there. So how can we as a municipality work together with the county to, what tools can we work together on to accomplish this?
Well, I think certainly working with, we're gonna announce the Deputy CAO for Economic Development. That's going to be part of their charge, is to look at areas where we're targeting. Clearly, the the Greenbelt and the Hollywood area are places where there's infrastructure already in place where we think we can do some great development, and that fits right in with my mission for that office. So right now, Mike Errico, who's the acting CAO, is taking the lead and making sure that we look at every project. I know we just talked about Greenbelt this morning and the fact that as we celebrate that New Carrollton and some other areas seem to be moving around, we're stalled up there, and so I've asked him to look at it and see if there's some things that we can do. And so what we'll do is it's on us to reach out to you. And so if my office is not, and Jason, in all seriousness, will make sure you all have his card. If for some reason we're not getting back to you, to the mayor, to you as the mayor and council members, then I want to know, and Jason's the person who you can contact directly. But we are looking at Greenbelt and the metro station, trying to see how we can help and get the right type of project up there, which is not always easy in this job.
But there are 3 agreements or covenants that go with that whole area. So before you say, well, let's try to find the right project, make sure that it fits the covenants and agreements that we already have.
I know very well that that's why I always loved Greenbelt.
Councilmember.
Berwyn Heights is my favorite. Yes, Berwyn Heights.
Hi.
My other
County
favorite place.
Executive Baker. I think all these things are kind of intertwined. Like if we want to attract, families and ethics, and maybe even someday, if things get a lot better, repeal the trim, as you're talking about sources of revenue. But I think the big thing is on our education issues. I mean, we realize that some of these things have to be cut, but we don't want to have cuts in teachers that are going to affect the class size. Is important. I mean, there are, a lot of parents that are working really hard and Berwyn Heights on these issues, even that work in, you met with one of our EAC chairs, Sonja Blattner. She works as the ESOL chair in Montgomery County. So, I mean, we don't want these families to leave Prince George's, and we want to attract more people that, want to come to our schools. They're not going to, want to come here if our schools, I'm not saying that our schools are bad. I think we've made a little progress, but now, every year it's cut more. I know everybody's in that situation, but there's some bill out there that was looking at the way they give money to schools in a different way. I don't know, a different way.
Disparity. It probably was.
Anyway, that's just something that I know is a real concern of the constituents in Berwyn Heights that are the schools.
As it is with all of us, I know, particularly, Councilmember Lehman and I have talked about education and how important it is, and I think we're in agreement that we clearly want to make sure that our school system has all the money it needs, and we're going to do everything we can to get them the resources. But it will not come without strings attached, and that is, we want to see exactly, especially in these tight times. I'm not, fighting maintenance of effort. I think other counties are. So, we're going to go and meet maintenance of effort. But if we're going to put additional resources into the school system, we have to know that they're targeted to programs that, one, directly impact the classroom, which is why I'm big on reading recovery. I think it's done wonders for us. That's why I'm big on the nationally board certified teachers. Wherever they are, it seems to improve. But there's got to be accountability. It can't simply be, we're giving you money and then you just do what the heck you want and then we don't see progress. And I've said this to the superintendent, I don't want us to form shop every 4 years. And that is, we get a program, it starts to work, but we see another shinier program out there, and then we try that one. And then we see another shinier, and we try that one. There's got to be consistency. And so we're going to work with them on it. I think but clearly these are different times. Even if we all agree in terms of the council and the county executive that we take some of our fund balance and we send it over to the schools, that's one-time money. That's not ongoing. That will not pay for salaries. So that means when we decide to take those precious resources we have and we send them over to the school system, it's got to have an impact. And so we're going to do that, but we're going to do all we can to help them out, because it is important as we attract people to Prince George's County that they can be able to say, you know, there's a quality school system and that we're making progress. And I think that's what people want to see. We're making progress.